The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak is officially the latest entry in the Legend of Heroes franchise, which Falcom has been feeding fans extremely well within the past few years, releasing a brand new entry in the franchise, or at the very least, a remake every single year. And next year in 2024, it's not going to be different, where essentially Trails Through Daybreak is now officially set to launch onto the Nintendo Switch in Japan February 15th of 2024. Remember that the original PlayStation 4 version launched back in September 30th of 2021, and the PlayStation 5 version in Japan launched in July 28th of 2022. There officially is no Nintendo Switch version as of right now in Japan, so finally we have confirmation that it's launching on February 15th of next year. Meanwhile, here players in North America are still waiting for the official localized version for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC, which is set to release in the summer of 2024. So today, not only do I want to go over pretty much all of the brand new features and brand new additions that players can expect for the Nintendo Switch version of this game, specifically for the Japanese import, but which presumably is going to be making its way to the Western version of the game. Falcom tends to release games with NIS America in collaboration as both publishers. They tend to end up releasing pretty much the same experience that you end up seeing in the Japanese release, just simply with, of course, English translations. So expect a lot of the brand new content to make it into the Nintendo Switch version in Japan to be pretty much match head to toe on the basic Switch version here that we end up getting in the West. First and foremost, they are confirming that the Switch version of The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak on the Nintendo Switch will feature brand new functionality and control optimized options. Essentially, basically the UI will be reworked a little bit. So if you're playing on handheld mode, everything will look normal and it will not be too small text or anything along those lines. And control options will be adjusted. I do not necessarily know, and there hasn't been any sort of confirmation, if touch controls are going to be part of this deal, but of course Joy-Con, Pro Controller support, and any other external support controls will be available for you to use. They're also mentioning that there's going to be a brand new high-speed mode and an archive mode functionality that was originally available and introduced post-launch to the PlayStation 5 version of the game. Simply means that the high-speed mode is something, one of those like RPGs tend to do this. A lot of remakes from like old RPGs tend to do this, where you kind of can speed up things a little bit. Combat gets speed up, I believe, ×2 or maybe ×3. It really depends on the game. We don't have confirmation as to what the speed is going to be on this one. And a chat can, like conversations between characters, can be sped up a little bit as well. So that is going to be a brand new addition. They don't necessarily mention or clarify what this archive functionality means, but based on previous entries, it basically means like a glossary of all the things you have already kind of like encountered in the game, whether it is new weapons, new characters, monster lore, and things of that nature. Lastly, they also mentioned that all of the DLC that was available in the PlayStation 4 version, 33 downloadable content packs, will all be made available onto the Nintendo Switch on day one. So basically those extra outfits, fan service swimsuits, and things of that nature, and even some small story DLC quests, all of that extra content will be made available onto the Nintendo Switch once it launches, once again, February 15th of next year in Japan, and then the summer here in North America later next year. For those who may not necessarily know though, this game comes in the aftermath of the brief war. Calvard is enjoying unprecedented economic prosperity. However, the public grows uncertain as a number of immigrants increase. The questionable political reform runs rampant. Following the Spriggan and Van der Dyke on a unique request to prove more than the Brigandine asked for, the nation is basically at a peril. And it's basically something of a story that it continues from the previous entries. The Sparrow's life is one but many professionals that has emerged from the Calval Republic. Be it playing detective, negotiator, or bounty hunter, Van Arkwright takes on the kind of work that legitimately sources can't accept. Whether it's best left out in the public eye or rooted in dark corners of the underworld, almost any job is open for consideration. The year is S1208. A prime and proper young lady dressed in the uniform of a esteemed academy visits the rundown multi-tenant building of the Old Town District in Edith, the nation's capital. With the most distinguished gaze, she looks upon the plaque of the door before her, and it reads, Arkwright Solutions Office, Complicated Matters Only. And as she reads that, she realizes that the moment she opens the door, a brand new tale will begin. So essentially, they are kind of like continuing the story, like I said at the top of the video, from the last entry, and players should expect a lot of things to basically stay the same with some brand new changes, specifically some of the brand new features that they are adding to this entry. A case in the Calvard. Follow the brigand known as Van Arkwright as he takes on the case that will change the nation's fates, as well as his own. Explore the reaches of the Calvar Republic while immersing yourself in a rich story filled with action and intrigue. They also mentioned that the Spriggan to action transitions seamlessly between the action field battles and turn-based combat with a revamped action time battle system, and expand your arsenal with new shard skills, courtesy of the 6th generation combat Orbinant Zeba. Lastly, they mentioned that between the law and chaos under the alignment system, your choices and actions affect how the story will unfold. Your prosperity towards law, chaos, and in the shades between can be influenced by the status of the city, who will ally or oppose at you, and even what jobs and dialogue options will become available to you. So ultimately, like many recent RPGs, most of your actions will impact the ending, and that basically means multi-story branching paths, so you can play the game multiple times over and over again. Certainly, the Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak is looking extremely promising, and it's one of those games that visually, at the very least on the PlayStation 5, is living up to the promise. So once again, we do know that the Nintendo Switch version is launching on February 15th of next year out in Japan, and here in the West, whether it is Europe or here in North America, we have just to wait until the summer of next year, presumably at the very least on the Nintendo Switch. It should be, if not the last, the Legend of Heroes entries that we see, certainly one of the last ones, as we are expected to make our way into the new realm of the Nintendo Switch 2, as plenty of rumors put it as a fall 2024 release. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today regarding the Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak, which is once again launching very, very soon. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.